is Jamie. I am a family photographer in the Pacific Northwest, and I teach other photographers how to get booked from their website. So their website isn't just a digital business card collecting dust. They can get off of Instagram and start living their lives and get off that hamster wheel, because that is a soul-sucking thing to be on Instagram all the time. And when you stop posting, your inquiries die down, or you just feel like you're guilty, or you feel ashamed because you're not posting enough. I'm here to tell you, if I were to delete my Instagram today, I would still have a full-time family photography business. When I learned how to speak to my ideal client, have a user experience on my site, and how to optimize my site for my ideal client, I was able to grow my business in leaps and bounds, and I was able to leave my dental hygiene career, and I needed to replace 6 figures, and I did do that within about 9 months. So over the last 8 years, I've been growing my business, and I've taken loads of education on workflows, SEO, blogging, all the marketing things, because when I was in my 3rd year, I realized I really got to nail down this marketing thing, else I'm not going to have a family photography business. So if you're here, you've probably got a website, you've been in business either for 3 years or maybe 10 years plus, and you've just never really understood how your website can work for you, or how to have a marketing system that works for you even when you're asleep. I get inquiries when I'm sleeping, inquiries when I'm dropping off my kids at sports, school, things like that, and I do not have to always be posting to get leads. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that and the strategy I use for myself and what I teach students. There are 3 pillars that you need for your website. It is the invitation, it is the conversation, and it is the close. So I'm going to show you exactly that now. I'm going to be using this whiteboard. You're going to see my 3rd grade drawing, and it's going to be really ugly, but oh well, right? So the start is when your homepage is optimized, meaning that Google knows exactly what your website is about and who it is for. So that when somebody types into the Google search bar that they're looking for a family photographer, branding photographer, or a newborn photographer, any kind of photographer in your city, that you're going to be popping up there. Okay, so I'm going to take my pen here, and I'm going to draw here, and I'm going to say Google. This is going to say Google understands what your page is about. It's optimized. Okay, so that's the start. So they see that your website is there, and they click on your site. So this is the invitation, right? This is where they're on your homepage, and you've got about a half of a second to grab their attention and to get them to scroll and want to know information. So yes, your beautiful photos are important. You need a consistent portfolio. You need to know how to do photography and do it well, but that is like one part of the puzzle piece, right? So you've got your invitation. They click on your site, and now they're on your homepage. They see your work. They also see your process, though. This is where the conversation starts, and your messaging makes them feel seen. They feel like that you know their identity, and you know either who they are or who they want to be after they've worked with you. Okay, so then they see your work, they see your process, they see your beautiful photos, and they feel seen. They feel seen through your work because they want to be photographed like that. They also feel understood because your messaging speaks directly to them. So let's say a mom's going on your website and she's like, okay, I'm really busy, I'm overwhelmed, I want to do family photos, but I just don't know how to do it, and it just feels like this really big thing that I have to do, and I just don't know if I can pull it off. Maybe their partner doesn't want to be there. Maybe they're worried about their kids, that they won't cooperate. Maybe they're worried about that you only do sunset sessions, or that you only do studio sessions, or you only do outdoor. Whatever it is, you need to be speaking to that client and helping them understand why you do what you do, your process, and that you've got them, and this is going to be a seamless experience. So again, let's start with step 1. Your website is optimized for Google. Google understands what it's about, and it serves your site to people when they search. Second is the person's going to click on your website is the invitation, and they stay on your site, and they're starting to get all this information. They see your work, your process, and again, your messaging makes them feel seen. So this is where you get qualified leads and people that actually want to work with you, that will pay your prices. So what I mean by that is somebody that is not a qualified lead. So let's say somebody lands on my site and they just want pose photos and they want studio work. Well, my website shows nothing like that. My portfolio is all outdoors. I really speak to the family that loves being outdoors. Their time with each other means more to them than anything else. And they really don't want to be looking at the camera and smiling. They want a very relaxed experience, but it needs to be seamless as well. So I talk about that on my website and my homepage. So that's why that the person will inquire with me versus not inquiring with me. So if somebody were to land on my site and they did just want studio work, very posed, and didn't look anything like what I offer, they're probably going to leave the site and not even inquire. So that's just one filter I have right there. And that's how I get the qualified lead that inquires with me that I would love to work with. And the funny thing is a lot of times I'll know when somebody will book me versus not book me, because sometimes that happens. People will inquire and we're just still not a great fit. That's okay. But what happens is they'll literally repeat what's on my site in their inquiry form. And they say, I love that you said XYZ here. That's totally us. So they really feel like I know where they're at in life and their season. And I've worked with people like them before, and that builds trust. So again, they're on your website now, they're scrolling around, they're getting more information, they're being educated, they see that you're an authority in your niche, and they're feeling really comfortable inquiring. So they are getting to the point where they're going to inquire. And again, not only are they going to get to the point where they want to inquire, but this is going to build trust quickly. So when I first started, I felt really icky about sales and I didn't want to sell anything. I don't know about you, but I'm super introverted. I'm busy and I don't want to spend a lot of time doing those things. I don't do in-person sales. I don't want to do anything like that. And I really wanted some kind of marketing system that would do all that for me. And I'm here to tell you, this is the way I do it. I have my website do about 95% of the work for me. By the time I actually meet families, I've probably only spoken to them via email about 20 minutes. All my systems and workflows are doing this for me, so I can be enjoying my life and still getting booked. So again, that's why I mentioned they feel seen, and that creates trust with you quickly, even if they've never met you. So exciting. Okay, so then they've got this conversation they're ready to have with you, and they inquire. And they tell you exactly what they're looking for, and they fill out your form, and yay, your inbox lights up, okay? Super excited. So then your post-inquiry workflow starts. So this is the close. So remember, we talked about the invitation, we talked about the conversation, and now we're talking about the close. So a lot of times people think, well, I'm getting inquiries and my website's optimized, so I don't know what it is. It's just not working. Well, that's because they're probably not thinking about what that post-inquiry workflow looks like. So again, there's multiple pieces of the puzzle to your website. There isn't just like one thing. This all has to be working in unison to help your users become a paying client. So your post-inquiry workflow, you are going to be prompt, you're going to be professional, and you're going to be seen as authority in your niche because everything is really seamless and it's easy to work with you. This shouldn't be really difficult. So if you're taking like 3 days to get back to somebody, even 24 hours, I'm sorry to tell you, it is way too long. You need to have something that immediately goes out. That can be in automations or even some kind of alert that you get so that you have your email ready to go and you just pull it out and you send it. You don't have to create an email every single time somebody inquires with you. That's actually a really big pain, and it also creates this tug of war inside you because if somebody mentions pricing or you feel uncomfortable or you feel icky, you're more likely to have this back and forth dance with them, and you do not have to do that. You can remain solid in your pricing because you should know your cost of doing business and your prices, and you have your pricing set for a reason so you can actually make a profit on your business because that's why you started this business, right? Not to do a hobby. You really want to take this to the next level and have a business that creates freedom for your life and you can be creative and do exactly what you love, which is photographing families. So the next thing is they convert. They paid you and now they are a paying client. And now you've got your experience already set for them. They've already seen that you're prompt. They can see that you're professional. They can see that you've worked with other clients. They see your testimonials and they've had a really seamless, easy workflow on your site, and now they've booked. So that is the 3 things that you really need to be working in unison for your site, and that is a strategy that I teach. So this works for family photographers, this works for branding photographers, newborn, maternity. It's just that you need to know how to optimize your site, speak to your ideal client, get them to inquire, and then what does that look like after they inquire? That post-inquiry workflow needs to be just as professional as your site. If that's something that you have always thought about, you've needed help with, or you're really not sure like where your bottleneck is, and if you've felt like I've brought something up that you feel like you've got questions about, I want you to look in the details below and you can get more information on how to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out anytime and ask me questions. I'm here to help. I hope that you found this helpful and I'm cheering you on.